were also understood to be based on, and correspond to, specific numerical values. This intimate relationship between letter and number was not seen as arbitrary. It was believed to be divinely ordained, widely considered the perfect number. Pythagoras believed that 10 encompassed all arithmetic and harmonic proportions. It represented completion, wholeness, the return to unity after the unfolding of the digits 1 through 9, like God. He considered it indestructible, a foundational principle. All nations, he observed, naturally use a decimal system, because when they reach 10, they intuitively return to 1. Beginning a new cycle, the heavenly bodies themselves, according to some Pythagorean schools, were thought to be divided into 10 orders or spheres, and within the profound system of Jewish Kabbalah, there are 10 Sephiroth. These are understood as 10 divine emanations from Ein Sof, the infinite, the absolute nothingness beyond conception. These 10 Sephiroth numerical and qualitative aspects of God's unfolding into creation combine to form the sacred tree of life, Etes Koyem. This tree of life is a cosmic map containing all divine knowledge, all archetypes of creation, and showing the path for the soul's return. Its journey back to union with God. 10, therefore, is not just a number. It is a symbol of divine order, completeness, and the very structure of reality. Aside from the deep occult or esoteric meanings attributed to individual numbers, another fundamental principle of numerology, particularly within Jewish and later Christian mysticism, is gematria. Gematria, also sometimes referred to as cryptography in this context, is the practice of assigning numerical values to letters and then calculating the numerical value of words or FO phrases. In Hebrew, the consonants of the alphabet also serve as number signs. By combining these letter-word numbers, often with the implied vowels, words can be read as both linguistic statements and numerical values. The medieval Kabbalists based much of their number magic, their esoteric interpretations, on a sophisticated combination of gematria and Pythagorean number symbolism. This methodology allowed for a special multi-layered reading of the Hebrew Bible, a way to uncover hidden meanings, secret connections, divine codes believed to be embedded within the sacred text by its divine author. This unique system of interpretation was not confined to Hebrew scriptures. It has also been applied by various mystics and scholars throughout history to Greek texts, including the New Testament, and even to Latin. For example, the infamous number 666, denoting the number of the beast in the Book of Revelation, has been subjected to countless gematria interpretations over the centuries by calculating the numerical values of names in Hebrew, Greek, or Latin. Various historical figures have been proposed as candidates for this enigmatic number. Names like Nero Caesar, whose name, when transliterated into Hebrew and calculated, can yield 666, and later, figures such as Martin Luther by his opponents. Various popes like Leo X, also by opponents, and even Napoleon, have been assigned this number through gematria, often driven by polemical or prophetic interpretations. This illustrates how gematria can be used not only to seek divine wisdom, but also to assign symbolic, often charged, meanings to individuals and events. Numerology, particularly in its occult or esoteric applications, is frequently employed as a tool to discover hidden meanings behind events. To understand the deeper significance of names and dates, and even to forecast potential future trends or personal destinies. When used in these ways, numerology clearly transforms into a form of divination, a method of fortune-telling. It is often combined synergistically with other divinatory arts, such as astrology, which itself is based on celestial numbers, cycles, and positions, cartomancy, divination using cards, like tarot, where numbers are often key, geomancy, divination by earthly figures or patterns, and dream interpretation, where numbers appearing in dreams are given significance. Once numerology is employed in these divinatory forms, it inherently becomes magical in its worldview. As a theory, such number magic has deep Occidental roots, often attributed, as we've seen, back to Pythagoras and his school. The underlying system theorizes that all things are, in essence, numbers, or at least possess a core numerical vibration, and crucially, it posits that these numbers, these vibrations, directly influence the essence, the nature, the destiny of things and beings. As a result, number serves as a mystical bridge, a conduit, between the divine, unseen realms and the mundane, material world. The profound implication, from this magical perspective, is that when one performs specific operations on numbers, calculations, meditations, symbolic arrangements, invocations, using numerical formulas, these operations are believed to directly affect the things, the people, the energies related to those numbers. Numbers become not just descriptors, but active agents of influence. This principle, of numbers carrying inherent power or influence, is seen at its most basic level, in common cultural beliefs and superstitions surrounding certain numbers, in many Western cultures, for example, particularly in American culture. The number 13 is widely considered unlucky. As a result, many people actively try to avoid anything associated with this number. The 13th day of the month. Especially if it falls on a Friday, the 13th floor of building often skipped in elevators. Having 13 dinner guests, can create a sense of unease or negative expectation. Interestingly, this is not universal. In Belgium, for instance, as your text notes, wearing or possessing the number 13 is sometimes considered a good luck charm, particularly for women. This highlights how cultural conditioning can shape the perceived power of a number. The negative connotation of the number 13 in some cultures often stems from the biblical account of the Last Supper, where Judas Iscariot, the betrayer of Christ, is traditionally considered to have been the 13th apostle to be seated or present. However, an earlier, perhaps deeper, concept influencing the perception of 13 emphasizes its relationship to the number 12. 12 is a highly significant number in many ancient systems, often associated with cosmic completeness and divine order. The 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 months of the year, the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 apostles of Christ. 12 often represents a perfect 13, therefore, being one beyond 12, can be seen as disrupting this perfection, representing a break in the cycle, something beyond established order, potentially chaos or transformation. This concept has strong positive associations in Babylonian and other early astral mythologies, where the 13th element could signify new beginning. The power we ascribe to numbers is often a complex interplay of ancient symbolism, cultural belief, and personal experience. During the 19th century, a period of significant scientific discovery and exploration, particularly concerning the invisible forces of light, magnetism, and electricity, the ancient theory that numbers correspond to energy patterns or vibrations gained renewed popularity and a more scientific framing. The idea emerged that numbers weren't just abstract symbols, but represented distinct frequencies, vibrational rates that influenced matter, consciousness, and destiny. This harmonized with the growing understanding of the universe as a dynamic interplay of energies. Within modern numerology, certain numbers are given special status. The numbers 11, 22, and 33 are known as master numbers. They are considered highly potent, carrying a greater intensity, a higher spiritual charge. A key characteristic is that in most numerological calculations, where single digits are sought, these master numbers are often not reduced further to a single digit. For example, 11 is not reduced to 1 equals 2, unless specifically analyzing its foundational energy. They are seen as possessing a unique, amplified vibration of their own. It is often believed that individuals whose core numbers in their numerology chart, like their life path or expression number, calculate to 11, 22, or 33, are often souls who have come into this life with a higher spiritual potential, a greater capacity for achievement, or a more significant, challenging life mission. They are often seen as old souls or spiritually developed people. These numbers carry both great potential and great responsibility. 11 is often associated with intuition, spiritual insight, illumination, idealism, and even psychic abilities. It's the number of the spiritual messenger, the visionary. 22 is considered the master builder. It combines the intuition of the 11 with a powerful capacity for practical application. The ability to manifest grand visions into material reality, often for the benefit of humanity. 33 is seen as the master teacher, the number of profound spiritual service, compassion, healing, and unconditional love. It represents a high degree of spiritual evolution, sometimes associated with an avatar consciousness, a being who incarnates to uplift humanity through selfless service and divine love. The number 33, when lived to its highest potential, embodies Christ's consciousness. Now, let us speak of something many of you may have experienced. Those subtle nudges from the universe, synchronicities, particularly numerical synchronicities. Have you ever found yourself waking up almost every night, glancing at the clock, and seeing it read 3:33 a.m.? Or perhaps, every time you're on the road, your attention is inexplicably drawn to cars with license plates featuring the number 111, or 444, or some other recurring sequence. Maybe you've noticed your last 3 trips to the grocery store resulted in bills like $17.17, $23.23, and $35.35, the same digits repeating. Or you realize, with a jolt, that every significant address you've ever lived at has contained the number 15. These are not mere coincidences, beloved. These are often gentle, persistent nudges from the universe, from your spirit guides, from your angels, from the divine mind itself. They are messages encoded in the language of numbers, the foundational principles of numerology. Much like other metaphysical arts, rest on the understanding that everything in the cosmos happens for a reason. There is an underlying order, a divine intelligence at play. This includes even those seemingly strange random events that you might be tempted to dismiss as mere coincidences. In the world of numerology, in the interconnected web of divine communication, there is truly no such thing as a pure coincidence. So, if certain numbers, specific sequences, or particular numerical patterns begin to repeatedly appear in your life, in various contexts, it is a clear signal that you should pause, take notice, and inquire into their potential meaning. The universe is trying to get your attention. Numbers are literally everywhere. You encounter them constantly, every single day. From the clock on your wall, to the prices in a store, to the dates on your calendar, to the channels on your television, to the addresses on buildings. The universe, a term we use here to refer to the overarching divine intelligence, God, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, or any other benevolent divine forces actively involved in your life, qualities that have been understood and interpreted by numerologists for centuries. Learning these basic meanings can provide a valuable starting point for deciphering these messages. However, while these general meanings provide a framework, you can, and indeed you should, go deeper. The most potent interpretations often arise when you combine the traditional understanding of a number's vibration with your own intuition, your personal experiences, and the specific context in which the number appears in your life. You are encouraged to apply your own definitions, to listen to what that number, that sequence, feels like to you. What thoughts or feelings arise when you see it? What was happening in your life or in your mind just before it appeared? The universe speaks a personalized language through numbers, tailored to your unique understanding and journey. Trust your inner knowing. Meditate on the numbers that appear. Ask for clarity. The answers are often found within your own heart, illuminated by divine guidance. Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating and mysterious stories, I would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also activate the notification sound. Chosen one, listen closely. This message you are about to hear, these words that now reach your spirit, are not of human origin alone. They are echoes of divine revelation, whispers carried from the very throne of heaven, intended for you, in this precise moment. If you are here Today, if your eyes see these words, if your ears perceive this sound, know this with unshakable certainty: it is not an accident. It is not by chance. God Himself, in His infinite wisdom and tender mercy, has led you here. You did not stumble upon this moment by mere coincidence. You did not arrive at this spiritual juncture by random occurrence. You have been drawn, gently, yet purposefully, by a divine appointment, called forth to hear what heaven has already declared, already decreed, already written over your life. This is not a casual interlude in your day. This is not ordinary information. This is a spiritual alignment moment, a sacred meeting point, a convergence between your present reality and your divinely orchestrated next chapter. Understand, this is more than just a word. It is more than just a message. This is a divine announcement, a celestial proclamation. It is a prophetic thunder intended to shake the very foundations of doubt in your life, to crumble the walls of fear that may have imprisoned your spirit. This is a holy interruption, a divine intervention. The voice of heaven, powerful and true, crashing into your everyday reality. Bringing with it the light of eternal truth. It is an unshakable decree, a kingdom broadcast, sent straight from the mouth of eternity, from the heart of the Father, directly into the ears of your present moment, into the depths of your soul. Every part of your spirit, every fiber of your being, needs to lock in right now. Focus your attention. Still your heart, open your understanding, because this is heaven itself, pulling back the veil, revealing the next chapter of your life. The chapter already written, already ordained, already secured. This is what your future will 100%, unequivocally, become. Not maybe. Not hopefully. Not someday perhaps, if all goes well. No. This is the attributable lovingly, powerfully, and when your future rests in God's omnipotent hands, it is unshakable, it is undeniable, it is unstoppable, it is undefeatable, it is eternally secure. What God holds chosen, loved, empowered, and destined for glory. The time for doubt is over. The season of hesitation, of delay, is breaking. Your destiny, the purpose for which you were created, is calling out to you, and heaven is about to reveal what the adversary never, ever wanted you to know. Before we delve deeper into these sacred revelations, I wish to pause from this celestial vantage point and express profound gratitude to acknowledge each and every one of you who have supported this mission of sharing divine light, supported it with your love, your prayers, your encouragement, your generosity, especially those who have been moved to give through the link thoughtfully pinned in the comments section. Your support is not merely appreciated, it is vital. It is a partnership in this divine calling. You are not just listeners or viewers, you are co-laborers, partners in spreading these messages of hope and truth. From the deepest wellsprings of heavenly gratitude, I say to you, thank you. Your offering is seen, valued, and multiplied. If this message, these words we are sharing today, stir something profound within your spirit, if it ignites a spark of recognition, of hope, of faith in your soul, I invite you to take a moment to declare it, to affirm it. Comment, thank you Jesus. Below this video. This is more than just typing words. It is a powerful spiritual declaration. It is your way of saying, yes Lord, I hear you, I receive this truth. I acknowledge my calling. I am chosen, and I am ready for your perfect plan to unfold in my life. Your declaration strengthens your own faith and encourages countless others. And if you have not yet done so, consider subscribing to this channel. Becoming part of this community of light seekers, ensure you never miss a future message like this one. A message that could uplift your spirit, guide your path, and confirm your divine destiny. Now, let us dive deep together. Not just into a teaching, but into a transformative experience. An encounter with truth that has the power to change everything. Are you ready? Is your heart open? Let us begin. Let us start here, chosen one, with this foundational, liberating truth. Your future is not something you are desperately trying to build from scratch, piece by uncertain piece. It is not something you are struggling to figure out day by day. anxiously wondering if it will all work out, if you'll make the right choices. No. Understand this profound secret. Your future, in the mind and plan of God, is already finished. It is already sealed. It is already declared. It is an established reality in the heavenly realms. The Holy Bible, your sacred guide, makes this astonishingly clear. Listen to the words of the prophet Isaiah, speaking on behalf of the Almighty, in chapter 46. Verse 10, God is declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, things that are about your future. That resides in your mind, before you ever took your first breath of earthly air, before you ever made your first mistake, your first youthful error, before you ever faced your first painful failure, your first deep disappointment, God, in His infinite foreknowledge and sovereign grace, had already completed your breakthrough. He had already designed your victory. He had already secured your ultimate destiny in Him. You are not wandering aimlessly in confusion, desperately hoping God figures things out for you as you go along. No, beloved, you are walking, step by step, sometimes through valleys, sometimes on mountaintops, into what God has already finished, into a plan already perfected. He declared the end, your glorious, purposeful end in Him from the very beginning. That means your ultimate victory existed in His mind, in His decree, before your current struggle ever started. Your breakthrough was ordained before your present challenge ever manifested. Your life, therefore, is not a random series of disconnected events. It is not spiraling out of control, subject to chaos or mere chance. It is a divinely orchestrated story, a sacred narrative, penned by the author of all creation, and it comes with a guaranteed, glorious ending in Him. The enemy, the adversary of your soul, Satan, may undoubtedly try to hinder you. He will attempt to delay your progress, to distract you with worldly allurements or fears, to discourage you with setbacks, lies, and accusations. But listen very carefully to this heavenly assurance. He cannot change what God has already written. He cannot nullify what God has already decreed. The script of your life, your ultimate destiny in Christ, is sealed by the authority of heaven. It is protected by omnipotent power. What God Himself started in you, He has, from the perspective of eternity, already finished. What God declared over your life before time began, He has, in His divine counsel, already completed. So stand firm in this unshakable confidence. Chosen one, you are not chasing an uncertain, elusive future, desperately trying to make something happen. You are stepping, day by day, into a future. Heaven isn't anxiously waiting to see how your life will turn out. Heaven already knows. And the end is victory. The end is breakthrough. The end is God's unimaginable glory being revealed in you and through your life. Listen carefully now. Let this truth penetrate the deepest recesses of your spirit. You are not a mistake. Your existence is not an accident. You are not here on this earth by mere luck, by random chance, or by purely human calculation or desire. You are not a random product of biological circumstances or societal currents. No, you are predestined by Almighty God, chosen before the foundation of the world. Your life, your unique essence, your divine purpose, was written into the scrolls of eternity long before you ever took your first earthly breath. The Apostle Paul, writing under divine inspiration, unveils this profound mystery in Romans chapter 8, verses 29 and 30, for whom He God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom He predestined, these He also called; whom He called, these He also justified; and whom He justified, these He also glorified. What a breathtaking sequence of divine action! What an unbreakable chain of grace! God knew you, intimately, personally, before time even began. He foresaw you. He recognized you as His own. He designed your life with divine purpose, on purpose, and for His glorious purpose. Let's make this profound truth simple.